since I am kind of running unopposed. But thank you all so much for having me this semester, and thank you all so much for coming. My story is a bit unique in that without MIAS, I probably would not have achieved anywhere near what I've achieved. And what I've achieved is my dream internship with my dream company, my extreme involvement in different conferences. So everything that I've had this past year is all from MIAS, honestly. I'm so grateful to my team this semester. Not to get too emotional, but it really showed me how valuable it is to be involved on campus. And that kind of made me understand the niche and the special magic that MIAS has. Our sense of community, even though we might not be the best, the largest organization on campus, we are the best in terms of interpersonal relationships and the ability to have whichever member it is talk to all the officers, talk to our professional advisors, and get one-on-one knowledge, exposure, and experience that will help them both in their social goals on campus, on their professional goals in their career, and anything that they want to do, we would encourage them to do. And they've encouraged me. They've encouraged me to become the president of this amazing organization, and they've encouraged me to work my butt off to come close to the amount of work that each other officer has done. So I'm really, really grateful to be up here today as the future upcoming president of MIAS. And my hopes for the future is to showcase the things I've learned in terms of communicating with different corporations, company representatives, and ensure that MIAS has a really, really strong future. So thank you. What are you going to do next semester? Well, I'm glad you asked. So, yes, actual question.
From what I've gathered, a lot of what the president role is people management. How would you go about managing like roles, like other roles within the organization? Because there's one thing to have everyone do their own thing, but you have to make sure that people regularly report in like what they're actually doing.
So thankfully, every single member or officer that I've interacted with has been incredibly passionate about their jobs, and I'm naturally an encourager. So I've already sort of met and collaborated with each officer and sort of developed that understanding of how to best support them in their role. And I will try to emphasize that I'm not there just to be just the spokesperson for MIAS, but to be like the one that brings it all together and brings MIAS forward. So hopefully that way, that will instill in our officers, whenever they need me, whenever they need some relief from their duties, I will be there for them. And that's what the president means, being the president means for me. Yes?
So what are you planning for next semester?
So, great question. So I've already, like I was mentioning before, I really wanted to showcase my ability to speak with corporations, with company representatives. So I've already started the process of attaining different facility tours and sponsorships. Unfortunately, because this was such a stacked, busy semester for me, I fell behind in my personal goals for what I would achieve in the sponsorship chair position under the treasurer. But hopefully next semester as president, that will give me just that little bit more of sophistication of that experience that I need in order to ensure that we get enough sponsorship for MIAS. Yes.
What weaknesses would you say you have, and how do you deal with them?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
What are some weaknesses you say you may have, and then how do you deal with them?
I have a very big weakness in that I really love everything that I do, and new ideas really inspire me, so I go after them. but unfortunately that also means that I don't necessarily have enough time to pursue all the ideas or all the activities that I want to do. That has led me to some unfortunate events this semester and throughout my entire life. But my passion is there always, and I love that about me. So as long as I'm able to schedule and collaborate with other officers in this organization to help me sort of specify and prioritize correctly in the things that I need to do and want to do, I think that should be fine. Yes.
All right, then what is your vision for MIAS, and how do you plan to commit to that vision without losing sight of that?
Yes, so my main goal for MICE right now is increasing our number of our membership and the quality of students that we have in terms of how prepared they are for our career fairs, how prepared they are to attain their first internships, and how prepared they are to go out there and make something of themselves. So in order to address the I wouldn't say low quality of members, but I want not necessarily a huge community because that would lose some of the magic interpersonal relationships that are so easy to develop in a close-knit community. But increasing our membership by at least 20 paid members next semester would be a pretty fair goal, and I would work really hard with our secretary to do that. And I would lead a lot of the professional events in order to ensure that our members have the best resumes, showcase themselves in the best light, and are prepared to speak with recruiters accordingly. Yes.
I genuinely like your enthusiasm, but a lot of what you're saying sounds in line with operations. So why president and not VP of operations?
Because I do not like bureaucracy. A lot of operations is unfortunately a lot of busy work, in my opinion. So I cannot fill out forms. Of course I can, but I really don't like to. And as president, I would be able to collaborate with the VP of operations in order to facilitate both our jobs. And in that mutually beneficial relationship, I would take care of some of their responsibilities, like you've mentioned, with the professional events, and sort of just delegate the things that I'm not suitable for to them. Yes, Roddy?
How are you so handsome?
I've been working out, and my natural Ecuadorian genes are shining through finally.
Oh.
Unfortunately, had like medical emergencies over the past few years, but I am putting the muscle in my
Nice, alright.
Alright, I think we have time for one more question.
Yes.
Yeah, how do you, I can't remember this. You said that the goal for next year is to increase the amount of members
Yes.
for 20. Do you have like an actual idea how to? I mean, I was treasurer 4 years ago, so it seems that it's been the goal for the past 4 years to increase my members, but I've never heard of like how,
Like a specific plan in
like a
place?
specific, like how can we get not as big as Chef Nesby, but
Of course.
what, look into them and see like, why do they have the bigger numbers, as president, I feel like that would be a good, do you have anything as of right now? Because you have one month, and then you're in the actual position, and then it gets started, and by then,
Right.
classes get back on track.
Yes, I'm glad that you brought that up. I meant to mention that what separates us from I wouldn't say our current competition at all. Nesby, Chef, SWE, these are all incredible organizations that we wish to collaborate with. We're not here to take members away from them. We're here as a community, as MIAS, to support those who don't necessarily belong or feel welcome in those communities. That's what happened to me. That's why I'm not part of Chef, even though my mentor is actually the VP of Chef, or the president also encouraged me to be an officer for Chef. The reason that I'm in MIAS is because I understand that our community is special and that we take in people who don't necessarily have the experience in other organizations. So in order to attract those kinds of members, I would suggest or encourage our current members and put plans in place in order to speak one-on-one with with different professors on campus, especially since we're going to have a partnership with CASI, the Computing Alliance of Hispanic Serving Institutions, where I'm actually putting a plan in place in order to collaborate with computer science organizations on campus. Latinos in computer science are extremely underserved at UH, which is crazy to me because we're half the student body. So things like that, noticing where the faults are or where Latino people are underserved right here on campus, in the biotech field, in the computer science field, those are just some things I've noticed, and those are the places that I'm targeting in order to recruit more members.
Because I know from my case, it was, I liked mine because it was small and it stayed
Mhm.
small. How do you go about it, like, if it does expand that big and you start losing members because the organization isn't small anymore, or certain members, you know, it's kind of like it fights its own reason.
Right. Yes. So the problem with expansion is always that we may lose some people just by them being sort of like shy or just being overwhelmed. That's a frequent issue. But as long as we are all able to showcase how welcoming we are and really putting the nice message out there of like once in nice, always familiar, we really, everyone that I've spoken with so far has mentioned how chill the vibe is and how welcoming people are. So as long as our officers are able to connect individually with different members, like so many of my officers have, we will be able to retain a lot